This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. Is anybody else feeling weird about this one? Like, it might just be me. And maybe it is just me and I'm projecting all of my weird feelings about this game onto everybody else. But like, it's just been a weird week, man. Like, we've had all these injuries pop up and it's not been like normal injuries, right? Like we seen, that's the thing that's been, let me touch on that real quick. I'm gonna get sidetracked a lot here because I'm on my feet and I get sidetracked when I'm on my feet. But one of the things that's been weird about this season has been how many season-ending injuries have we seen this year that have not looked season-ending when we saw them? You know what I mean? Like, we had the Nick Chubb injury that looked season. That was a real, like, yeah, that season-ending right there. Like, ooh, no doubt about it. I think the first thing I said when I saw it was, his season's over. It's done. He's not coming back. That was it. And then the Jack Conklin one, that was the season ender, right? He came out on that. They brought out the cart. They gave us the whole, okay, yeah, hey, he's not coming back. He's not coming back. Hey, he's not coming back. Did the same thing with Jed Wills, even though they lied to us, said Jed Wills was coming back. The next thing we know, he had a surgery. But we got the cart treatment for that. Everybody else that's going out for the year, man, it ain't been nothing like that. Deshaun Watson won a game, celebrated in the locker room, did the press conference. Next thing we know, bam, he ain't in. He done. He done. He's just like, what? You know, we were out here worried about a high ankle sprain. That's all we worried about. We were worried about high ankle sprain. Next thing we know, Deshaun Watson gotta get surgery on his shoulder? Like what? What? Same thing happened this week, man. And that's been happening all week, all year, by the way, where we just losing DeJuan Jones. He didn't even get injured in a game. He got injured in practice. And now he's out for the year. Got to get surgery from practice. You see what I mean? Like, it's been so weird this year. I can't describe it. And then you come to this week, you think, okay, we done dealt with everything we can dealt with. No, you have not. Grant Delpit, Maurice Hurst out for the year. Now, at least we saw Grant Delpit get hurt in the game. It didn't look super serious, but it did look like he was going to miss at least a game or two. He got put on season-ending IR, but he could come back. Maurice Hurst tore his pec. I'm like, why are these injuries happening in places that we can't see? Obo Okoronkwo tore his pec. I'm like, when? And I'm not doubting the fact that any of these injuries has happened. I'm just like, when was the last season that you just find out that like 7 different dudes on your favorite team out for the year on an injury you ain't even see happen? Like, usually when you get somebody to go out for the year, you see it happen. You get the cart. They play the little do-do-do music on Fox, the sad version of it, like the pared down with just the piano. Go search Fox News. Not Fox News. Don't search Fox. Go search Fox Sports injury timeout music, and you'll hear, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, you usually get that. We got that 3 times, man. We got like 8 dudes on the injured reserve. No, 11. My bad. We got more guys on injured reserve, and it's just been weird. And it ain't just been with the Browns. You look over at the Cavs. Evan Mobley and Darius Garland won't play basketball for at least 2 months. What? Huh? What? Darius Garland got his jaw broke? What? Wait, Evan Mobley got to get knee surgery? That's the title of this video, by the way. If I could make that the title of the video and people will watch, I would, because artistically speaking, I mean, am I wrong? Is that not what the title of this video should be? That's the title of Cleveland Sports 2023, right? The headline of the year, you know, the most eloquent way to put the season, the sports seasons of 2023 in line. And it's just some dude like, huh? What? That's the look of 2023, man. That's what we've been through. That's what we've been through. But yet, the Cleveland Browns keep winning. All this stuff, Cleveland Browns keep winning. And while it's easy to, to say, man, it's tough to be a Browns fan. It's tough to be a Cleveland sports fan. It's tough to do this. It's tough to do that. And I understand the impulse to do that. The Browns just keep on winning. And when the hell have we ever said that? And it was one thing when this was happening in 2020 and like everything was going on was weird, but it's been a pretty normal year, 2023. Like nothing crazy has happened that I remember, at least like for sports. Like it ain't got shut down like it did in 2020. There's at least fans in the stands. And that's where I'm at with this game. It makes me come back to where I'm at with this game. And it just feels weird. And I'm thinking to myself, it's all of these things that make this game feel weird. It's the injuries. It's the injuries popping up out of nowhere. It's the fact that we just finding out every time we look at the injury report that we losing more guys. Did you know Anthony Walker got hurt this week in practice? I don't know how. Because who's even at practice anymore to practice up against? Like, I can't imagine that they're getting quality work in. They got like 13 guys on the roster practicing. It's just David Njoku and Joe Bitonio going up against Myles Garrett. They got a 3-on-3 basketball tournament at practice. I don't know how anybody's getting injured. Like, at some point, the Browns got to go substitute teacher on practice for the rest of the year. Just put in a videotape and just let it go. You know what I mean? Just wheel out that TV in the front of the meeting room, just put on the videotape and just mail it in. Because we can't have nobody get. That's the third player we done lost to injury. Juan Thornhill, we lost during warm-up. He ain't playing. This is his second week missing. He got hurt during warm-ups. Now, many people have many theories to why this has happened for the Cleveland Browns. Oh, is it karma for the Deshaun Watson trade? Or is it it's the medical staff's fault? Or is it time of possession? And I think we all know the reason that all these dudes got injured. Come here. Come closer. Yeah, let me tell you the reason. If you don't know, let me tell you the reason. It's because they playing football. And that shit hurts. That's the truth, right? Football hurts. And then sometimes it hurts teams more than it hurts other teams. And this year, injuries done clapped our shit. Like, it just is what it is. Like, I can't really explain it any further than that, right? I know people want a definitive answer. People want a definitive reason to be mad about the injuries, and not just to be mad about the injuries, but to point to, not because it's going to bring anybody back off of IR, but because it can make them feel like it's not going to happen next year, right? Because let's be honest here too. We not mad at these injuries or trying to find whose fault the injuries are because we think that it's going to stop the injuries this year. We just want to make sure it doesn't happen next year. And the truth is, it's football. It's a violent game. It's a physical sport. Some years you're going to have more injuries than others. Hell, sometimes you might get back-to-back years of bad injuries. Honestly, most of the time you get back-to-back years of bad injuries. Look at the Ravens. Look at the Tennessee Titans teams that dealt with injuries. Like, it just happens. And every time it happens, we blame it on like, oh, it was the weight staff, or it's the floor that they use for the bench press, or Mike Vrabel's practicing them too hard, and it's or sometimes it turns into they're not even practicing hard enough, right? They're not getting that body ready for football by not taking enough hits. It's football. Shit's random. Sometimes you get hurt, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get good luck with injuries, sometimes you don't. And the Browns have gotten the bad end of the injury pot. But guess what, y'all? The Browns still winning football games. And today they play a football game versus the Chicago Bears. And the question isn't going to be determined by the injury report. Well, the game isn't going to be determined by the injury report. Browns are going to win or lose this game the same way they won or lost every game this year. On the back of the defense. That's who has to show up. Joe Flacco gonna be what Joe Flacco gonna be, whether that's good or bad. The offensive line gonna be what that offensive line gonna be, whether it's good or bad. David Njoku and these wide receivers gonna be able to make out of what they're gonna be able to make out of this, whether it's good or bad. But the defense gotta dominate. You at home, you playing against a young quarterback, this is your chance to dominate. So that's who I expect to see out there dominating. Last week, you got to prove yourself, right? Because people were starting to question your reputation. People were starting to look at you and see a fraud when they saw you, right? Because how could you have those 2 back-to-back performances on the road on a West Coast trip? You not elite. Shut up, Browns defense. That's what we was all saying to you. Let's be honest about it. But we gonna need you to show up again, big dog. Like, just because you proved something last week don't mean that you ain't got to prove nothing this week. You got to come here, step up, prove it again this week. Because, yeah, that's cool what you did against the Jaguars. But a real gangster would be able to do it back-to-back weeks. You know what I mean? Like, the bar always gonna move when you this good. And honestly, that's a blessing. If the bar is not constant, like, people always complain about the goalpost moving and the bar moving. And while people do that disingenuously, I do think that there is some reason on why the bar moving is kind of the norm for everybody. Because if the bar didn't move, that means that people don't think that you could achieve more than that. And the fact is that the Browns defense, the bar should move because the bar should be set at greatness. We wasn't talking about this being the best defense in the NFL. We was talking about being one of the best defenses of all time. Well, if you one of the best defenses of all time, you got to stop the Bears, right? Like, you can't get out here. None of the greatest defenses of all time have gotten gashed by the Bears. I don't care what year it was. Like, the Bears, like, you can't be out here getting beat down by the Bears and then, like, people respect that. That's a universal, nobody respect it. There will be people who watch this video in 40 years. It's like, yeah, man, you can't be out here getting gashed by the Bears because the Bears ain't never going to have a good offense. Watch them draft Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. and then, like, they have the best offense in the NFL right after I hit upload. But point being, as a 2023, you can't be a great defense and then get gashed by the Bears by a second-year quarterback that we're not sure is good. Nah, can't let that one go. No. You elite, do it. You got the corners to shut down their wide receivers. You got the defensive linemen to get to their quarterback. That's all we need. That's what this game's going to be determined on. Injuries or not injuries, that's what this game's always been determined on. See, Myles Garrett's the franchise player right now. He's got to play like a franchise player, and his unit's got to play at a franchise level. So that's my thoughts coming into this game. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Y'all have a great day. Have you a better night. Peace. And catch me on the live stream after the game. Yes, on Bleacher Report. Also, catch me on the live stream during the game. It depends. I got travel plans. It's kind of weird. I might be back for the watch party. So if you see it pop up in your thing, I'm there. I might be a little late. I might not. But just know, I plan on having a watch party for this game as well. But I do have travel plans that might make that a little complicated. I'm trying to squeeze it all in. But I will definitely do the post-game show 100%. And, check me out on that, on Bleacher Report. Also check me out here on YouTube. Peace.